Come on then. Come on then. Alright. My goats have been loving this mineral like the past few weeks. They finished this off in 10 days. Completely empty in 10 days, which probably is not the most healthiest thing, but they are very good for your goats. All the other goats, including Phoebe, Brian, Oscar, Helen, hello Mavis, got it everywhere, all over their faces. Ow, don't bite me! Hello Phoebe. You would have seen in the YouTube shorts or on the Goatstagram or on TikTok, I bought 2 of those goat mineral boxes, one for this field here for the 3 girls and Albert, and then I bought one which is over there with Brian, Oscar and Helen, because Helen obviously can't be with her dad Albert while Albert is breeding the girls to get them ready for next year. Now I bought them just under 2 weeks ago and that one's already gone, which I can't really do sustainably. I don't want to spend 18 or 19 pounds every week pretty much, because they finished it off in almost a week. Look at them! They're just enjoying their hay. Yesterday was torrential rain, so they mostly stayed in their shed all day, so I think they're quite pleased. It was really good. The goats absolutely loved it. I was very pleased to see them so happy, and obviously it's really beneficial for their diet to have the extra minerals. But one side effect I didn't like, they got it everywhere. All over their face, especially Albert, but the girls had it. They went from a lovely white colour to brown and orangey, sort of reddish colour. Going from lovely white to that was a bit of a stark contrast, but Helen was definitely the worst. Helen! What do we have here? What did I say? I said they loved them. Okay, Oscar. I intended on doing a very lovely piece to camera with the goats licking it, showing how great it is. But that's not very possible if Brian keeps knocking the camera over. So this is what they've been licking. You can see it's quite like red on the inside, and that's what it should be like. You know, the goats have had this almost 2 weeks and there's still quite a lot left, which is good, but there is only 3 goats eating this and they're quite small. Ow, stop biting me! He wants it back, Oscar wants it back. I just keep mine at the back of their shelters so the rain can't destroy it, and it's also just out of the way then. Having goats that are super friendly like mine is a bit of a double-edged sword, because yes, they're lovely, but also they just get in the way and knock the tripod over and bite you, and oh my gosh, they're just goats at the end of the day. Obviously it's annoying when they do bite me, but they don't bite me really very much at all, and it's just Oscar. And he's just doing that because he's a goat. Like, that's how goats interact with each other. So it's not very helpful, but it's just who they are. Before we get on with the jobs, I've done a few things since you've last seen a longer form video, and I wanted to update you on those, because it does also tie into the jobs we've got to do. Him. I can smell him. He doesn't smell great. I'm yet to see him actually breed the girls. I saw him breed all 3 of them last year, except maybe Phoebe, and then Percy the year before. He's definitely been interested in them, and he's kind of had a few days with each, just following them around, but I haven't really been able to spend enough time to see everything, but they're doing well. So you'll see behind me the field the 3 girls and Albert are in, and then all the way over there is where Helen, Oscar and Brian is, but you will see I can just keep walking away because they've been moved again. So we started off for the first 3 weeks the girls were here, and then the next 3 weeks they were here, which is part of the job we have to do because we've got to clean this place up. Well, clean all the wasted hay up, but they were here for 3 weeks, and then at the weekend on Saturday you would have seen the short or on the Goatstagram. They're now there. And moving them there, surprisingly easy, right? You just let them out to walk around while you do all the jobs, then call them back in, and it's like, yes, it works really well. Mainly, the biggest problem I find with moving the goats, the shed. Well, not this shed specifically, the shed for Oscar, Brian and Helen, because the shed in this field, the metal one's quite easy to move. You just kind of flip it onto its top and then drag it. But in that field for Helen, Brian and Oscar, I need like a short name to call, because I can't do like the girls field and the boys field because there's girls and boys in each field. So I'll figure something out. But in that field I have to remake them a structure every time I move them because I don't have like a portable shed, so I would like to buy another one of these metal sheds. I want to buy another one of these metal arcs here because this is excellent. I've had it for 3 years now and I cannot speak highly enough. It has not been damaged or broken in any way. Yes, there's some marks on the top and some holes, but I've done that myself. This thing is excellent. It's the best. It hasn't rotted. The goats haven't broken it. They've chewed on it a bit, but they haven't like destroyed it. The metal roof is safe and it's waterproof. They've been warm, dry, out of the wind. It's excellent, and the doors are quite helpful as well. So my goal is to contact the company that creates them because I could not speak more highly of it, and see if we can arrange some sort of deal because this thing is cool. It's really, really cool and I love it so much. Yesterday I did receive a comment saying the shed was too small for my goats, or I had too many goats for the shed. And yes, it does look smaller than you would need it to be, but all the goats fit in there perfectly well with space. I can fit 6 or 7 goats in there if I actually had to. I wouldn't want to have that many goats in, but I do have the biggest shed over there, which I use for kidding, and the girls have their babies in there and they stay in there with the babies, you know, so it's not just that's my only shed for the goats, but it works really well for moving around the goats, and something small for like 2 or 3 just kind of pets, right? Lets them get out the elements. So if we come back into this field, you'll see I'm doing the exact same thing. 3 goats were over there for 3 weeks, then they were here for 3 weeks, and now they're here for 3 weeks. And you can also see why I'd like a metal shed, because that thing there, yes, it works, but I have to keep making more, and I don't like doing that. I just want to be able to move the shed and give them something proper, because that's just a bunch of pallets and some tarpaulin. But I actually have some really good news to share about moving the goats and the worm load, because the plan was to move them so they weren't eating worm-filled grass, right? Rotating the goats around every 3 weeks has been working incredibly well. So they've gone from the end to the middle to the back in this field. It's worked really well because Oscar's struggled a lot with worms and he's become very susceptible, and so is Clover, but not as bad as Oscar. So for context, Oscar, 4 months ago, I got Oscar's poo checked for worms, and the egg count was like 2,300, which, if you don't know, is extreme. Like that's bad, okay? Because 400 is when you want to treat it, and then 900 is considered really high, or 700. So 2,300 was like, you know, it's like really bad. Okay, so we wormed Oscar, he perked up, he went to 0, and then a month later he was at 2,800. So it just gets worse, right? That's really high, and that was partly my fault, and I'm to blame for that, for not looking after it properly. So I started rotating the goats around because I did not want Oscar to die or get that high again. And it's been about a month, just over a month and a half, and I got him tested again, and he was 300. So that's really good news. I'm going to get him tested again in 2 to 3 weeks to see if that number's increased or stayed the same, because if it's gone up to 500, for example, obviously we would worm him, but it also makes me see if these fields are completely clear of worm eggs when I put the goats on, because I'd given it like 3-4 months to rest with absolutely no goats on it, so it would clear up a bit, and it's so far been doing really well. So I'm pleased about that. And I'm pleased to see Oscar's doing a lot better. He's not perfect, he's still got a lot of weight to put back on, but he's improving, and that's what's really important to me. So that brings me to my third field, and what am I doing with this space behind me? Now the plan for this is I'm not going to put any goats on here at all until the girls are ready to give birth. So it has plenty of time to recover, and is in a really good state for them when they come in here with their babies, and just generally when they give birth, right? Because also, how I manage the electric fencing and moving the goats around, I don't want to introduce the electric fencing to the goat kids until they're at least 6 weeks old. So I'm going to have the goats in here for at least 6 weeks, which could increase the risk of worms. So if I've left it long enough for anything that's in here to die off, that's what I want to do. I love this field. It's like great. This is probably the best it's ever looked since I got it. I can't wait for babies again. Whew, it's a bit chilly now. But that's the quick update on the goats being so grubby because of their new favourite mineral licks. They love them. If you're interested in getting them for your goats, there'll be a link in the description for that, because I recommend them so much. My goats loved it. I'm also pleased how well they're doing with the moving the fields around. It's not like the biggest space for them, but it works for now, and it works until I can possibly even get some more space for them, so I can have a bit more bigger fields when I rotate them around. But we'll see what happens. The goal right now is just to make sure they get through winter and they're ready to give birth in April. Late April, early May sort of time. In this field here, hoping for 6 babies. 2 from each. Mavis didn't have babies last year, but hopefully this year she has some babies. So yeah, that's the note I'm going to leave you on. If you're interested, check out the previous video. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Catch you guys in the next one.